I lost about $50,000 overall in the stock market. It's been like an up and downhill battle. But I would, before I continue with this story, I just want to say I broke even overall in the stock market. So I lost $50,000, but I also gained $50,000 in other areas and kind of broke even in the stock market overall.
I see.
So let me just go through my story. I started investing in 2017. I was 19 at the time and I had zero investing experience. I tried to join my school's investing club, but they wouldn't let me in because, again, my background was in computer science, not in economics and finance. And B, I had zero investing experience, so they didn't want to take me on. So I started learning on my own by watching those YouTubers, I think like Ricky Gutierrez and like a few other folks. Graham Stephan, but he's not really a stock investor. But yeah, I was watching a few of those people. And yeah, I started investing in leveraged gas ETFs. So what that means is there are ETFs, which are electronically traded funds, similar to SP 500, that you buy. And these funds track the price of gas. And there were two types of ETFs. One that tracks the positive runs and the other one that tracks the negative runs. So the first ETF, if gas price goes up, that ETF goes up. And if gas price goes down, that ETF goes down. The second ETF, which was an inverse of that, if gas prices go up, that ETF goes down. And if gas prices go down, that ETF goes up. So they're kind of reversed, and you would basically buy and sell both depending on situations, and you would never actually buy both because you'd lose money overall because of costs and there's other factors, which I could explain in a different video. But yeah, you would basically time the market, look at the news. They would have reports for oil supply and sales overall. I think I forgot what it was called exactly, but yeah, you could look at the reports and then you could figure out where things are. And I invested that for a little while. Actually got my account up to quite a bit. I think I invested like 1 or 2K, and then I managed to get my account up to like 7 or 8K. And yeah, I mean, I was doing quite well actually, but also at the same time I wanted to go bigger. Obviously I wanted to become a millionaire overnight because the investing group that I was in, people were already millionaires. So I was probably the poorest one in that group trying to learn. So then I started diving into options trading around 2018. Got my account to actually 10K from $3,000 from options trading. So I was trading, I think at the time, like Shopify, Amazon options, Tesla options, and these stocks would move quite a bit. And options are highly leveraged contracts that you can use to trade against these. So let's say you buy $1,000 worth of options on Tesla. You buy calls, so that means that if Tesla prices go up, your options value goes up exponentially. So you could go from literally $1,000 invested to like $2-3 million. I'm not lying, that's the truth. Like if Tesla goes up enough in value, your $1,000 contract could be worth $2-3 million. And the guy in Wall Street Bets, that's how he became rich with GameStop. He bought a bunch of options on GameStop stocks, and he turned his like couple $1,000s into like a $4 or $5 million portfolio. And then he got investigated by the SEC. But I'm not gonna get deep into that. The long story short, I made 10K. But again, when you're over leveraged, you can just as easily lose the money as quickly. So you can go from 10K to 0, and that's exactly what happened.
That's tragic.
I got greedy and I started thinking I'm the king of the world, and I started making big bets. I was going all in. I was supposed to like divide my account up into small chunks and then invest out, but no, I went all in.
All I have in this world is my balls and my word.
I went all in on the stocks. I went like from 10K to 14K to 0. So that's pretty much, and it happened in a span of like a couple hours. Like, I'm not lying to you. It was crazy. If I got out at 14, the hindsight is 20/20, but again, I didn't, and I went to 0. Then I'm like, okay, I've lost like $3,000 on this. I've lost practically my whole portfolio from the money that I made in my gas ETFs. So then I'm like, no, I'm gonna take it safe. But I still didn't like the idea of just like investing over 5 to 10 periods. I wanted to make money quick. So I got into margin accounts. Margin accounts is when you invest a certain amount of money and the bank gives you a loan to increase your portfolio size. So let's say you invest $30 in Apple stocks. The bank will give you $70 extra to buy more Apple stocks. And the way that works is if the valuation of Apple goes up, your stock portfolio goes up. When you sell, you got to pay off the loan back, and obviously pay off any interest that they charged you for that loan. and then the remaining money you get to keep. So let's say I invested $100 total, 30 bucks is my money, 70 is the bank's, and then Apple share goes from 100 to 150. So now I sell it for 150, then I pay back the 70, and now I have what? 150 minus 70 is 80 bucks left. I have $80 left. My initial investment was 30, and I made 80. I made 30, I made 50 bucks. So the percentage wise, you would make more money because you have more money invested. And sounds great. The problem is when the market goes down, you're still on the hook. The bank it's a loan at the end of the day. You still have to pay it back. So let's say you invest, again, 30 bucks in Apple, the bank gives you 70, and Apple drops down to 30 bucks. Okay, so you sell it, Apple goes down to 30 bucks. You still owe the bank your $70. So you pay the bank the remaining 30 that you have. Now you owe the bank $40, and you lost your initial $30 investment. So now you're in the hole for $70 in total. So when the wins are good, they're big, but when the losses are bad, like they're really bad. So that's exactly what happened actually. Actually no, it didn't happen until now. At this point I was investing in margin. I was also investing quite heavily into like really good stocks like Apple, Microsoft, Facebook, whatnot. And my portfolio went up from, I invested a total of $40,000 in my own money. And my portfolio peaked at about $120,000, and that was in like 1.5 years of investing. I took a $40,000 portfolio to 120 grand. That's an insane amount of money.
That's pretty good.
And this was around the time like I wanted to get into property. I was like, okay, I have $120,000 now. Maybe I can put it in down payment onto a property and sort of secure my winnings. The problem is the portfolio crashed to 60K around the time I was trying to buy my first property, and it ended up falling through. My portfolio just absolutely plummeted.
Please don't kill us!
So the property that I was looking at, I couldn't even afford it anymore because my portfolio just wiped out. Had I sold it, locked in the profits, and then went to look for a property, that's a whole different story. And then also I wasn't considering taxes at the time. So if I sold that year, I would have a huge tax bill at the end, because stock, unless capital gains are taxed at 50% of the profit. So if you made 100K profit, only 50K of that is taxable. So 50K times 50%, you only pay 25K in taxes. But that's only if you hold the stock for more than a year. Most of my trades were day trades. They weren't held for more than a year. They were held, not day trades, sorry, swing trades. So they were on hold for like 3 to 4 months, 6 to 7 months. So I had a big tax bill coming in. I wasn't considering that either. I mean, again, I was new to investing. I didn't know a lot of different things at the time, but now I do. So then another property opportunity came up, and my portfolio recovered slightly to about $90,000. And I liquidated most of it to buy the property. Yeah, I mean, I liquidated most of it. I put it as a down payment, got a different property. I still ended up having some money left over on my account, and then I invested it here and there. And yeah, I mean, like at this time I missed investing. I really liked the idea of investing. So then I decided, the bright idea that I had was I was going to take out a line of credit, and I was going to use the line of credit to invest in the stock market and make my money back, and then pay off the line of credit, pay off my margin loan, and then be rich. Well, that is not how it went at all.
I knew it! Oh!
So I invested close to $20,000 on a leveraged account, and that $20,000 was not my money. It was from a line of credit. So I took a loan to invest with more loan.
That was stupid.
And I kept adding to the portfolio because the market was slowly going down. And like if the market goes down 3%, my portfolio would go down 10% because just of the margin due to leverage. And so my portfolio was just bleeding month after month, and every month I'd have to add in like 2.5 grand. Eventually I reached at like 40 grand of invested money, and like my portfolio was absolutely getting destroyed and it wasn't going anywhere. So I was about to max out my line of credit. My line of credit was about 50 grand. So I liquidated my stock account, took the remaining amount of money, paid off whatever I could out of the line of credit. I still owed almost like 35 or 37 grand to the line of credit. It wasn't much. After I liquidated my account, there wasn't much left.
Hey, you know what? It is what it is.
So yeah, I mean, I'm paying about $700 a month to pay off my line of credit. It was a bunch of bad decisions, and I've learned a lot, and also like I've earned tons of skills, risk management, I've learned about the like whole YouTube scams that go on. Half these people that give you investing advice literally don't know what they're talking about. Really be careful when you follow these people's advice.
They are savages.
But yeah, I'm paying off $700 a month. It's probably gonna take me like 4 to 5 years. I'm not too worried about paying it off. Like honestly, I could technically pay it off today in a lump sum. I'm just choosing not to because I don't want the tax. There's a whole situation with my current essential finances. So I could pay it off. I'm not going to. I'm just gonna take the next 5-6 years. It's actually cheaper for me to do that than it is to pay it off right away.
Pussy.
But yeah, I mean, that's what I wanted to share. Investing is a great way to earn money, but it's also a great way to lose money.
Perfectly balanced, as all things should be.
So you have to be careful and do your own due diligence. Don't just trust people blindly. Most people don't know what the fuck they're doing. They're just trying to earn a quick buck, and it's almost like luck at that point because you're trying to win the lottery. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.